Man over 60. Imagine waking up every morning with the vitality and confidence you thought you'd lost. This is Dr. Jane Taylor from Male Secret 60 Plus. I want to ask you straight up. When was the last time you had a firm, proud morning erection? If it's been a while, that warning sign might be bothering you, right? The good news is that age doesn't have to steal your masculinity, strength, or energy. Thousands of men your age are rediscovering their vigor, and the key to it might be something simple in your kitchen. In today's video, I'll reveal exactly which secret oil it is, why bedtime is the perfect time for it to work, and how this science-backed, real results nighttime routine can transform your mornings and self-confidence. No more feeling frustrated. You'll learn how to give your body what it needs to restore testosterone, protect blood flow, and bring back that natural erection you thought was gone forever. Stay until the end and discover how a simple spoonful of oil can change your nights and mornings. Let's get straight to it. Why oil before bed works. For many years in my practice, I've seen men arrive frustrated, embarrassed, and convinced that their bodies were too old for strong erections. But what I've learned, and science continues to confirm, is that the problem is rarely age itself. The real issue is that the body hasn't received what it needs at the right time to keep producing the hormones and circulation essential for morning erections. That's why taking oil before bed can be such a powerful, almost miraculous intervention. The truth is, your body isn't sleeping at night. It's working hard between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Your system is busy repairing tissues, balancing hormones, and replenishing energy for the next day. Think of it as the night shift in a factory. Hormones like testosterone are being produced during these hours, but only if the raw materials are available. Those raw materials are healthy fats. Without them, your body is like a factory without supplies. No matter how many workers are ready, nothing can be produced. When you take a spoonful of the right oil before bed, you're fueling the factory just in time for production. The healthy fats in these oils are the foundation for testosterone synthesis. At the same time, many of them contain anti-inflammatory compounds that reduce silent swelling in your blood vessels and pelvic tissues, easing blood flow to where you need it most. And because oils are absorbed more efficiently than many other nutrients, your body doesn't have to wait long. It starts using these resources almost immediately. I've seen men who thought their best years were far behind return weeks later with a smile, saying they were surprised to wake up with the kind of erection they hadn't felt in years. That transformation begins with understanding this one truth: timing matters. Which oil you choose matters even more. And the oil with the strongest scientific support, the one I recommend every man start with, is extra virgin olive oil. When men ask me where to begin, I always say to start with extra virgin olive oil. It's not something exotic, it's easy to find, and yet it has incredible effects on male vitality, the strongest I've ever seen. I remember a patient in his late 60s who had tried everything: supplements, expensive pills, and nothing worked. He was skeptical when I suggested something as simple as olive oil. But in just a few weeks, he returned to my office with a smile on his face and a confidence he hadn't felt in years. That day reminded me that sometimes the simplest solution is the one that changes lives most. The science backs it up. Olive oil is highly effective. Men living in Mediterranean countries consume it daily and have the lowest rates of erectile dysfunction in the world. Studies show that those who use olive oil consistently can increase testosterone by nearly 20% in just 3 months. That boost rivals what some potent medications achieve. But olive oil does more than just provide raw material for hormones. It contains polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that protect testosterone so it doesn't break down or convert to estrogen. In other words, olive oil not only helps you produce more testosterone, but also helps you retain it. For the best results, quality matters. Look for cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil in a dark glass bottle with the harvest date on the label. Freshness is key, as that's when polyphenols are at their peak. Take a tablespoon about an hour before bed. You can take it plain, mix it with lemon juice, or drizzle it on a piece of bread. The secret is consistency, night after night, to let your body build strength and resilience. I've seen men sleep better, have more peaceful nights, and suddenly experience firm morning erections again. But olive oil is just the beginning. It helps produce hormones and protects them, but there are other oils with unique powers that combat inflammation and improve circulation in ways olive oil can't. And one of the most surprising is castor oil. Most men are surprised when I mention castor oil because for years it was known as an old remedy for constipation. But in truth, this thick golden oil has a very different power when used in the right way and dose. I'll never forget one of my patients, a 70-year-old man suffering from weak erections and constant pelvic discomfort. He'd tried various remedies but only experienced side effects and little improvement. When I suggested castor oil, a very small dose before bed, he looked at me in disbelief. 3 weeks later, he called me, thrilled, saying he'd had his first natural morning erection in nearly 5 years. That call reminded me of the hidden potential in this overlooked oil. The secret lies in its chemistry. Castor oil is made up of nearly 90% ricinoleic acid, a unique fat with impressive anti-inflammatory power. In small doses, it doesn't act as a laxative. Instead, it penetrates deep into tissues, reducing swelling and congestion that build up in the pelvis after years of sitting, poor circulation, and the silent inflammation that comes with age. This is crucial because inflammation around the prostate and pelvic vessels is one of the biggest barriers to healthy erections. By helping to clear lymphatic fluid, reduce pressure, and improve blood flow, castor oil makes it easier for your body to send blood where it's needed in the early morning hours. The key is moderation. The right dose is 1/2 to 1 teaspoon, mixed in warm water or milk, about an hour before bed. Choose organic, cold-pressed castor oil free of hexane to avoid impurities. The taste isn't pleasant, I'll admit, but mixing it with honey or following it with a mild drink helps. And when men start noticing easier urination, less pelvic heaviness, and, finally, morning erections returning, the bitterness becomes a small price to pay. But castor oil is just part of the story. While it works deeply on inflammation, there's another oil that energizes the body in a completely different way, boosting hormone production and nighttime recovery through a unique type of fat. And that oil is coconut oil. Coconut oil is one of those household staples most men overlook. But when I began studying its effects on hormonal balance and male vitality, I realized it offered something truly unique. I remember a patient in his 60s who came to my office worn out from years of lethargic mornings and declining libido. He told me he felt like his body had slowed down overnight, as if the engine was running on fumes. When I suggested coconut oil before bed, he looked at me with skepticism. But in just a few weeks, his mornings felt different. He described waking up lighter, more lucid, and with the kind of energy he thought only younger men had. Along with that energy came something he didn't expect: stronger morning erections. The secret lies in how coconut oil is metabolized. Unlike most fats, coconut oil is rich in medium-chain triglycerides, or MCTs. These are quickly converted by the liver into usable energy rather than stored as fat. That means when you take coconut oil before bed, your body has a ready supply of fuel for cell repair, tissue recovery, and hormone production during the critical nighttime window. It also contains lauric acid, a compound with natural antimicrobial effects that helps calm low-grade inflammation in the gut and urinary system. And since inflammation is one of the hidden enemies of blood flow and nerve health, reducing it is essential for strong, consistent erections. The best way to use coconut oil is to start small. Take 1 teaspoon before bed and gradually increase to 1 tablespoon if your body tolerates it well. Always choose organic, virgin, cold-pressed coconut oil that still has a faint coconut scent, as that indicates it hasn't been overprocessed. Some men melt it into a cup of hot tea, others mix it with cinnamon, or simply take it plain. The key, as always, is consistency. Coconut oil speeds up your metabolism, supports testosterone production, and sets the stage for energized, powerful mornings. But while it fuels your system with fast-burning energy, there's another oil that provides a different kind of power, delivering essential minerals to your testicles and protecting your prostate. That remarkable oil is pumpkin seed oil. Pumpkin seed oil is one of the most overlooked treasures for men's health, but it has a special place in my recommendations. Years ago, I treated a man in his late 60s who was waking up 3 or 4 times a night to urinate. He was exhausted, frustrated, and convinced that his prostate issues had stolen both his sleep and his intimacy. I introduced him to pumpkin seed oil, suggesting he take a small spoonful before bed. In just a few weeks, he told me he was sleeping through the night more often, his urination had improved, and, to his surprise, his morning erections began returning. The relief was written all over his face and reminded me of how powerful this oil can be. What makes pumpkin seed oil so unique is its combination of essential nutrients and protective compounds. It's one of the richest natural sources of zinc, a mineral your testicles rely on to produce testosterone. Without enough zinc, testosterone production slows to a crawl. Pumpkin seed oil not only provides generous amounts of zinc, but delivers it alongside healthy fats that make absorption more efficient. Additionally, it contains phytosterols, plant compounds that specifically reduce inflammation in the prostate and improve urinary flow. Studies have shown that men who take pumpkin seed oil regularly report fewer nighttime bathroom trips, less pelvic discomfort, and better overall prostate health. And when the prostate is healthy, everything in that region works more smoothly, including sexual performance. The taste of pumpkin seed oil is nutty and rich, which many men actually enjoy. The ideal dose is 1 to 2 teaspoons before bed, taken plain, mixed into yogurt, or drizzled over a light evening snack. Always look for cold-pressed oil in dark bottles and keep it refrigerated to preserve its dark green color and potency. Pumpkin seed oil strengthens the foundation. It nourishes your hormones and protects your prostate. But there's another oil, less familiar to many men, that protects and revives the very cells in your testicles responsible for testosterone production. That oil, used for thousands of years in traditional medicine, is black seed oil. Of all the oils I've studied, black seed oil is the one that most surprises men. Known for centuries in the Middle East as a cure for everything but death, it has only recently begun receiving the scientific attention it deserves in Western medicine. I remember a man in his early 70s who had almost given up on restoring his sexual vitality. He told me he felt like his body had simply stopped, and the energy he once had was gone forever. I suggested black seed oil, not as a miracle, but as a natural support for his depleted system. In a few months, he returned with a gleam in his eye, saying he felt not only more alive but more confident as his morning erections became consistent again. The power of black seed oil lies in a compound called thymoquinone. This natural antioxidant directly protects the Leydig cells in your testicles, the very cells responsible for testosterone production. Over the years, oxidative stress wears down their function, leading to lower hormone levels and weaker erections. Black seed oil not only protects these cells, but helps them recover and function better. Clinical studies have shown increases in testosterone of up to 20% after regular use, along with improvements in sperm quality, libido, and erectile strength. For men struggling with insulin resistance, another common issue after 60, black seed oil offers an added bonus. It improves insulin sensitivity, which is vital because poor blood sugar control is one of the fastest ways to lower testosterone. The taste of black seed oil is strong, spicy, and slightly bitter. So many men prefer mixing 1 teaspoon with honey before bed or opting for a high-quality liquid capsule. The key is ensuring the oil is organic, cold-pressed, and contains at least 1 to 2% thymoquinone on the label. This guarantees potency and results. Black seed oil has the ability to restore the very testosterone production machine, offering hope to men who thought decline was inevitable. But protecting and repairing cells is only part of the equation. To truly restore vascular health and circulation, there's another oil that works in tandem with these benefits, and that oil is fish oil. When men think of sexual health, fish oil rarely comes to mind. Yet in my years of practice, I've seen it quietly transform not just erections, but overall vitality. Once, I worked with a gentleman in his late 60s who struggled with constant fatigue and lack of morning firmness. He'd tried adjusting his diet, adding exercise, and even experimenting with herbal remedies, but the results were modest. When I encouraged him to start a daily dose of high-quality fish oil before bed, he hesitated. After all, he'd heard it was mainly for heart health, but just a few weeks later, he told me his mornings felt renewed. His energy was steadier, his focus sharper, and, yes, his erections had returned with surprising strength. The reason fish oil is so effective lies in its omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA. These compounds reduce systemic inflammation, which silently damages blood vessels over the years. By calming that inflammation, fish oil helps blood vessels remain flexible and open, allowing improved circulation to the areas that matter most in the early morning hours. DHA, in particular, strengthens the walls of those vessels, making them more resilient. The result is better blood flow, improved oxygen delivery, and stronger, more reliable erections. Additionally, omega-3s support nerve function, ensuring the delicate signals between brain and body remain sharp, even with age. For the benefits, quality and dosage matter. Look for pharmaceutical-grade fish oil that's been purified and tested for mercury and other contaminants. 2 to 3 grams before bed is ideal, and taking it at night often reduces the fishy taste that bothers some men. Store it in the refrigerator to keep it fresh and potent. Fish oil strengthens the foundation of circulation and nerve health, amplifying the results of all the other oils you take. But knowing which oils to choose is only half the story. The real magic comes from learning to combine them into a simple nighttime routine, a protocol that maximizes benefits and keeps your body supplied with everything it needs. And that's exactly what I'll show you next. One of the biggest mistakes I see men make is trying everything at once and then giving up when they feel overwhelmed. The truth is, your body responds best to steady, consistent steps. Over the years, I've created a simple protocol that allows men to introduce these oils gradually and safely, building momentum without stress. I remember guiding a patient in his early 70s who was eager to try all 6 oils in a single week. I advised him to go slow, reminding him that healing is a process, not a race. When he followed the protocol I outlined, not only did he avoid digestive discomfort, but he also began seeing significant improvements in just a few weeks. The first week is about simplicity and consistency. Start with 1 oil, and I almost always recommend beginning with extra virgin olive oil. A tablespoon before bed every night gives your body a familiar, well-tolerated foundation. In the second week, you can add a second oil or alternate between 2. For example, olive oil on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and pumpkin seed oil on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. This keeps your body supplied with a variety of nutrients, giving each oil time to work. As you move into the third week and beyond, you can find the rhythm that works best for you. Some men thrive by sticking with 2 oils consistently, while others enjoy rotating between 3 or 4 for a broader spectrum of benefits. My favorite combination for many men includes olive oil and black seed oil 3 nights a week, pumpkin seed oil twice a week, coconut oil once, and castor oil once. This approach addresses hormone production, circulation, inflammation, and prostate health all at once, without overwhelming the system. Think of it as creating a personal routine that becomes second nature, like brushing your teeth before bed. Small, repeated actions lead to lasting transformation. And once you've committed to a protocol, the next natural question is, how long will it take to see results? And what exactly should you expect along the way? One of the first questions men ask me is, how long will it take to notice a difference? I understand that impatience. When you've gone months or years without morning erections, each day feels like a reminder of what's been lost. But what I've seen repeatedly is that when you give your body the right building blocks, change usually happens sooner than you think. During the first week, most men notice small but encouraging changes. Sleep often becomes deeper, the mind calmer, and morning energy starts to feel steadier. This is your body's way of saying it's receiving the raw materials it was missing. In the second and third weeks, something notable tends to happen. Men report waking up with firmer, more frequent erections, still not every morning, but enough to remind them that their bodies are capable of responding. It's a powerful moment that restores hope and confidence. Between the 4th and 6th weeks, improvements usually become more consistent. Morning erections appear more regularly, responses during intimacy feel stronger, and energy throughout the day improves. In the 2nd and 3rd months, the benefits often compound. Hormones stabilize, circulation improves, and inflammation continues to decrease. At this stage, many men tell me they feel years younger, not just in the bedroom, but in their energy and overall outlook. It's important to remember that results vary. Some men respond faster, while others take longer, depending on factors like sleep quality, stress levels, medications, or overall health. But in my experience, men who are consistent rarely finish 2 full months without noticing significant changes. The key is patience and persistence. Your body has a remarkable capacity to repair itself when supported the right way. And while the timeline gives you a roadmap, there are certain obstacles that can delay or even completely block these results. Understanding these obstacles is the next crucial step. Over the years, I've learned that it's not just about what you put into your body, but also the environment you create for those nutrients to work. Some men follow the oil protocol faithfully, but struggle to see progress. Others, with the same routine, notice improvements quickly. The difference usually boils down to hidden factors that accelerate or block results. Consistency is the first. Your body thrives on routine. Skipping nights or constantly changing oils can disrupt the steady supply of nutrients needed for hormone production and repair. I remember a patient in his 60s who admitted he only took the oils when he remembered. Not surprisingly, his results lagged behind. Once he committed daily, his improvements finally arrived. Sleep is another major influence. Testosterone and growth hormone are produced most efficiently during deep sleep. If you're sleeping only 5 hours a night, or if sleep apnea is silently interrupting your rest, no oil in the world can fully compensate for that loss. Addressing sleep issues often unlocks the full potential of this protocol. Medications also play a role. Blood pressure drugs, statins, and certain antidepressants are known to interfere with sexual function. Oils can help mitigate some of these effects, but the battle is tougher. That's why it's important to talk to your doctor about alternatives or adjustments if you suspect your medication is limiting your progress. Stress might be the most underestimated factor of all. Chronic stress raises cortisol, a hormone that directly suppresses testosterone. I've seen men under intense stress make little progress until they started practicing relaxation, prayer, or even simple breathing exercises. Once stress decreased, their bodies responded almost immediately. And finally, alcohol, especially late at night, sabotages sleep quality and hormone production. Even moderate amounts can undo the benefits of your efforts. Understanding these obstacles allows you to correct your course and maximize your success. But beyond avoiding pitfalls, there are also simple, proactive habits you can add each day to supercharge your results. In my years of guiding men on this journey, I've realized that while oils are the foundation, small daily habits can multiply the benefits many times over. Think of it like tending a garden. You can plant the right seeds, but if you don't give them water, sunlight, and care, they'll never reach their full potential. The same goes for your body. One of the simplest and most powerful habits is staying hydrated. Blood flow depends on the thickness of your blood. When you're dehydrated, circulation slows and erections suffer. Drinking half your body weight in ounces of water per day keeps your blood flowing freely. I remember a patient who ignored this until I challenged him to commit for just 2 weeks. He was surprised at how much lighter, more energetic, and responsive his body felt. Another powerful practice is strengthening the pelvic floor with Kegel exercises. These simple contractions, as if you're stopping the urine flow midstream, target the muscles that support erections. I've seen men in their 70s regain firmness and stamina simply by doing these exercises daily. Morning sunlight is another overlooked ally. Just 20 minutes of light within an hour of waking helps regulate your circadian rhythm, which in turn boosts testosterone production. Men often tell me they feel more alert, more alive, and more in tune with their bodies when they commit to this small act. And finally, protect your nights. Limit blue light from screens at night, as it disrupts melatonin and reduces sleep quality. A patient once told me that swapping late-night TV for reading with dim light not only improved his sleep, but also deepened the effectiveness of the oils he was taking. These small, practical steps create the conditions for your body to thrive. And when you combine them with your nighttime oils, the transformation is even greater. But perhaps the most compelling reason to stay consistent lies in the cost. One of the most common frustrations I hear from men is the high cost of conventional treatments. Erectile dysfunction pills can cost $30 to $60 for a single dose, and yet the results are temporary and often come with side effects like headaches or palpitations. Testosterone replacement therapy, another popular option, can cost $200 to $500 a month, not to mention the injections, doctor visits, and ongoing monitoring. I've had men look me in the eye and tell me they felt trapped, paying a fortune just to borrow a bit of confidence for a night, all while fearing what might happen to their health long term. That's why these oils feel like a revelation. High-quality extra virgin olive oil, pumpkin seed oil, or black seed oil can cost $40 to $60 for a month's supply. That's less than $2 a day. And unlike a pill that forces your body into a short-term reaction, these oils nourish you from the inside out, addressing the root causes of weak erections. They support hormone production, reduce inflammation, improve blood flow, and promote overall health in ways no single prescription can. I've seen men not only regain their morning erections, but also report sharper memory, calmer moods, and better energy throughout the day. Think of it this way. For the price of a cup of coffee, you can invest in something that boosts your vitality, supports your heart, protects your prostate, and restores the confidence you thought you'd lost forever. This isn't an expense. It's one of the wisest investments you can make in yourself. But beyond the cost and convenience, there's something even more important: the promise of reclaiming a part of your masculinity that many believe age has stolen. And that's exactly where I want to take you now, as we wrap up this message in the conclusion. As I reflect on the journey we've taken together in this message, I want you to pause and really absorb what you've heard. For many men over 60, the loss of morning erections feels like the closing of a door, as if vitality, energy, and masculinity have silently slipped away. I've sat across from countless men in my office who told me they felt ashamed, even defeated, believing that this part of life was simply over. But time and again, I've seen these same men rediscover their strength by making one simple change, adding a spoonful of the right oil before bed. We've explored why timing matters, why oils work so powerfully at night, and how each one brings its own unique benefit. Olive oil as the solid, science-proven base for boosting testosterone. Castor oil, reducing inflammation and relieving pelvic congestion. Coconut oil, fueling the body with fast-burning energy and supporting nighttime recovery. Pumpkin seed oil, rich in zinc, protecting your prostate and nourishing testosterone production. Black seed oil, restoring the very cells that produce hormones. And fish oil, ensuring blood vessels and nerves remain strong and responsive. We've established a simple protocol so you don't feel overwhelmed, a timeline so you know what to expect, and a clear picture of the obstacles that might stand in your way. We've added daily habits, hydration, pelvic floor exercises, sunlight, and better sleep to multiply your progress. And finally, we've compared the cost of these natural oils to the exorbitant expense of medications and therapies, showing that lasting improvement doesn't have to empty your wallet. But beyond the facts and figures, here's what matters most. I've seen these changes restore more than just erections. They restore confidence, intimacy. They restore that spark in a man's eye when he realizes age hasn't taken everything from him. That spark is what drives me to share this message with you. Now the choice is in your hands. You can continue on the same path, accepting decline as inevitable, or you can commit to 30 days of consistent effort, one spoonful at a time, and discover what your body is still capable of. I challenge you to take that step, because your mornings are waiting to remind you that you're still strong, still capable, and still very much alive.